Salut my fellow French learners. If you've been on this language learning journey for a few years, then you know that learning French goes beyond memorizing grammar and tons of vocabulary. It's a transformational experience that touches your heart and your soul. So today I'm going to try my very best to speak to your hearts rather than your heads by passing on some words and some expressions that over time have become guiding lights for me in my journey. Et bien sûr, they are also fun to add to your French vocabulary as well. So before we dive in, let me share a bit of my own personal journey. Alors, I'm just like many of you. I'm an English speaker who embarked on the quest to master the beautiful French language, and for almost a decade, I made learning French my #1 life priority. And along the way, I've tasted all the emotional highs and lows that come with such dedication. But here's the thing, those that go the furthest towards mastering a new language aren't just the ones who nail the grammar and the vocabulary. They're the ones who learned how to perceive the challenge in the right way, how to master their own minds and emotions. And on that journey, a handful of words and expressions have become my compass, if you like, transforming me into someone who doesn't stress about it, but finds joy in every step. I truly hope that these words and expressions can guide your path as they continue to shape mine. Du coup, si vous êtes prêts, allez, c'est parti. The first expression that's been my mantra, and you've probably heard me say it all the time in my videos, is progrès, pas perfection. It means progress, not perfection. Wanting things to be just right is truly admirable. I personally love it when I construct a grammatically perfect sentence. It feels like such an achievement. The problem is when you apply this to the entirety of the French language. This way of thinking makes progress so slow. And although learning to be patient is key, most of us want learning the language to make way for naturally connecting with people in the language. And this takes way longer if you're waiting for things to be perfect and tying your emotions to the accuracy of sentences. Instead, focus on steady progress at every level and you'll get to where you want to go. Faster, too. Remember, it's okay to make mistakes. It's okay not to be perfect. In fact, consistently making steps forward, no matter how small, is an achievement in itself that you can be proud of, which will further spur you on to continue and make more progress. So, progrès par perfection is our first expression. Ensuite, we have the equivalent of practice makes perfect, and that is c'est en forgeant que l'on devient forgeron. C'est en forgeant que l'on devient forgeron. This literally translates to it's through smithing that we become the blacksmith. I use this to remind me when I get too much in my own head about how to go about doing something to just take action instead. Even if it's messy and fraught with mistakes, that will teach me so much more, and I try my hardest to remember that. And over time, it's just become more and more natural and automatic for me, like any habit. You can't plan for every eventuality, as life, and particularly French conversations, are unpredictable and there are many things outside your control. Embrace the chaos and be ready to learn from whatever happens. Oh, and in English, I prefer to say practice makes progress, because again, focusing on just moving forward and taking on what's in front of you is more effective and less overwhelming. So once again, this expression is c'est en forgeant que l'on devient forgeron. Numéro 3 is c'est un marathon, pas un sprint. And you can guess it means it's a marathon, not a sprint. And in case you're wondering, we pronounce it sprint instead of sprint because it's an English word that the French have borrowed instead of having to say une course rapide, right? Sprint is, ironically, faster. I like to say as well, slow down to speed up. Most of us, when we start out, we're dreamers, right? And we're very excited to learn this new skill. We don't know what we don't know, right? Think about that again. We don't know what we don't know. And at the beginning, this can be thrilling. We tend to put a ton of time and effort into the language that we can't actually sustain. At the intermediate stage and beyond, the big wins come more slowly, and we need to learn to slow down and target consistency, even if the daily effort is small, for long-term rewards. So please, don't rush it like I did many a time. Savor the process. C'est un marathon, c'est pas un sprint. Ensuite, numéro 4, and I love this one for no reason other than that in English, as far as I know, I don't believe there is a one-word equivalent. It's great being able to sum up something so powerful in just one word, en un seul mot. It's the verb relativiser. Relativiser. Il faut relativiser is something I've heard and said a lot now. And this means you should put things into perspective. When you have a crisis of frustration about something you did in a conversation or the mountain you seem to have found yourself climbing, that is the French language, being able to relativiser can make it far more manageable. Relativiser goes hand in hand also with another expression, which is prendre du recul. Prendre du recul. Literally, take a step back. Learn that although French is very important to you and it's great to have such a passion, it is not the end-all, be-all of your life. It's just one part of this amazing journey that you call your life. Take the knocks in your stride. Sometimes taking a step back and looking at the bigger picture can help ease the frustrations. And the language lover in me loves knowing the French equivalents of self-help things I read all the time in English. So relativiser and prendre du recul. Now, not really an expression, but a concept that is la gratitude. I don't need to translate that one, do I? It's taken years for this practice to truly make a difference for me in my life and my French journey. But I kept coming back to it because I was fed up of finding myself stressed and unhappy when I know those things only cause me to miss more important things, like connecting with real people through imperfect use of the language. I'd made it so important to myself that often I would just be miserable, right? And I realized, that's not what I want to feel. How do I change it? And gratitude is one thing I always come back to. Practicing gratitude on a regular basis has truly helped me relativiser when something like a French word I forget or a phone call to l'administration française doesn't go the way I want it to. I'm grateful for my ability to work this hard on something. I'm grateful for the ability to learn a language so easily compared to past generations. And I'm grateful for you all that are watching this, allowing me to live life on my own terms. Being grateful for every moment of learning, every conversation, every cultural discovery, it can transform your perspective. Remember, you're not obligated to learn French, you get to learn it. And gratitude can turn the toughest French days into beautiful ones. So that's number 5, la gratitude. Lastly, there's a lyric from the musician Orelsan that really struck a chord with me. No musical pun intended there, but the lyric is "Ce qui compte, c'est pas l'arrivée, c'est la quête. Ce qui compte, c'est pas l'arrivée, c'est la quête." And I wish I could play it for you, but I'd probably get demonetized for playing copyrighted music. But this is more or less the melody. Ce qui compte, c'est pas l'arrivée, c'est la quête. Ce qui compte, c'est pas l'arrivée, c'est la quête. And that's the closest thing you'll get to me singing on YouTube ever again. Most likely. And of course, this translates to what matters isn't the destination, it's the journey or the quest. You see, learning French is not just about reaching fluency. It's about enjoying every moment along the way, and I wish I'd learned that earlier. But here you go, I learned it when I learned it, and that's enabled me to make this video for you right now. So I'm grateful for that. And I found, often through a lot of inner resistance, that even in the most difficult moments, that there's an opportunity to find something to enjoy and to celebrate. I just have to be willing to look. And if it's a choice between feeling good and feeling bad, I'm going to do my best to feel good. In that sense, it's kind of a choice to feel happy and grateful and all the positive emotions that come with it. It's my choice to interpret a situation. Ce qui compte, c'est pas l'arrivée, c'est la quête. Merci à Orelsan. So here's a recap of the words and expressions that I want you to gradually take on board for long-term enjoyment and satisfaction while you learn French. Progrès par perfection. C'est en forgeant que l'on devient forgeron. More or less, practice makes progress. C'est un marathon, pas un sprint, i.e. slow down to speed up. Relativiser et prendre du recul. Put things into perspective by remembering the bigger picture. La gratitude, and the wise words of Orelsan. Ce qui compte, c'est pas l'arrivée, c'est la quête. So there you have it, my fellow French language enthusiasts. These words and expressions have been my companions on this beautiful, challenging journey of learning the French language. Remember, it's not just about the language, it's about mastering your mind and your emotions, and these expressions can help you do just that. But before we wrap up, I want to hear from you. Which of these words and expressions resonate most with you? Or maybe you have your own special phrase that helps keep you inspired and motivated on this marathon. Please do share them down in the comments below. I'd love to read them, and I'm sure they will inspire others who come across them in the comments. Let's inspire and support each other on this incredible adventure. And of course, if you found this helpful and inspiring, please don't forget to leave me a thumbs up down below. It just takes a click or a tap with your finger. And please don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you keep up with all the latest happenings here at French in Plain Sight. But until next time, tout le monde, merci beaucoup d'avoir regardé. À la prochaine. Ciao, ciao.